It's Dr. Fred, TMT, Tuesday Morning Transformation. Here's the question. Do you want great relationships in your life? So what do you think, here's another question. What do you think is the most important relationship in your life? Okay, so if we ask that question to different people, they give different answers. Some people say, well, the most important relationship is God. While others say, they've gone through these tragedies. Maybe they lost a child. Maybe they had financial disaster. Maybe they got a diagnosis of a life-threatening disease or someone they know. And they say, why would God do this? Do you know anybody that's ever asked that question? I run into them all the time. Okay, another person may say family. Well, family is the most important relationship. That's my grounding. Yet how many people have issues and problems with their family that they don't associate with anymore? So the reality is the most important relationship in our life that we value the most is really a perception. And everybody has a different perception. But what's the universal law? In my opinion, it's the relationship with yourself. Because that becomes the reference point of all relationships. God, family, everything. Right? So what I want to do is I want to give you a hack. What's a hack mean? To sever, right? To cut all the false beliefs away. I want to give you a hack on the self-improvement industry, the whole self-improvement industry. So first of all, just the name, self-improvement, is the root cause. Because why? If you're always thinking, well, I'm into self-improvement, what's that mean? That ultimately means, what am I not saying? That I have faults. So what is this? Because I've been through this for years and decades. Because when you're into self-improvement, what's that mean? There's something about me that I have to fix. There's something wrong, so I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to this seminar, and I'm going to read book after book after book after book, and it all becomes knowledge rather than experience, because we're trying to improve ourselves, which ultimately means what? The relationship with ourself means we find fault in ourself, when really self-improvement, to reframe that, actually becomes self-awareness. And that means aware of who we really are. Which now that comes to certain belief systems. Do you believe you're a spirit having a human experience? That means I'm a spiritual being first. Do you believe that you're here with intention, you're in this life to have a purpose, and you're here with intention to do something very specific in your purpose? Then if that's true, then that means there's other people in this life while you're walking here that are waiting for you, in a sense, to get your shit together and get into self-awareness and dog self-improvement, right? So we can help contribute to their lives and bring them along. Which also means, hey, you're part of a universal puzzle, man. The puzzle is not complete unless you are here and fulfilling your soul purpose. So that just throws away the whole self-improvement thing and redefines it as self-awareness. Don't you think that's a lot better? Which means it's not who we have to become. It's what we have to let go of. So there's three things. How many? 1, 2, 3. 3 things that determine your relationship with yourself. Now get this, on the other side, these same 3 things, are also the same 3 things that block every desire in your life. Isn't that fascinating? So 3 things, relationship with yourself, same 3 things that block everything you desire in your life. What's the first one? How do we how do we determine the relationship with ourselves? Number 1, our internal language. How do we talk to ourselves? It's also called negative self-talk, right? And then there's a mantra, if we talk to other people like we talk to ourselves, we wouldn't have any friends. Now, why do we do that? Because we grew up in a world of competition and comparison. We compare ourselves with other people. What do they do? Man, they look great. Boy, they get all the attention. And we have these judgments. Well, little Freddie, you're just really shy. That's what I got. No, I'm not. I like to observe people. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just observing people. Well, little Freddie doesn't like to pay attention at school. Actually, I get it already. I'd rather flick the football across the thing. That's way more fun than sitting in a chair. Which is also why I'm an entrepreneur, right? So we have, rather than seeing who we are, the world tries to put us in this box. But our purpose isn't in that box. That person who does all these great things, hey, you may not have noticed, but I'm not 6'8". I'm not meant to play professional basketball. I'm not supposed to be a role model because I'm an athlete, right? We do other things. So I'm given these gifts, you're given your gifts. So when we compare, it's absolutely ridiculous because we think we have to self-improve rather than becoming aware that they have a different purpose. If they were to do my purpose, they would fail miserably. If I would do their purpose, they would fail, or I would fail miserably. So rather than, isn't it better if we just see, wow, what's my gifts? Why don't I just do those? Hey, I have like 2 things, and I just work the snot out of those, right? I don't care about anything else. Man, when I played baseball as a kid, I struck out every time. I hated baseball. I loved football. I want to hit people, and I was a wrestler. We want to inflict pain and have blood on us and stuff, right? Finesse. I can't golf, you know? So anyway, the thing is, number 1, how do we talk to ourselves? So how do we change that? 2 questions. How many? 1, 2. Number 1, what did I learn? So when you go through these experiences, what did I learn? Number 2, what am I going to do? So what did I learn? What am I going to do? That moves us forward. Okay, what's the second thing? What story are you telling? Hey, we go through life, man. We go through some stuff. Life just has stuff. It has pain. It has hurt. Now, the problem is we have experiences where someone or something, we have a violation. And yeah, we like to talk about it because it doesn't feel good. And yes, it hurts. However, 2 questions. What did I learn? What am I going to do? Now, Joel Osteen, now don't shoot the messenger if you don't like the message. I just heard this on a video. And he said, if you're still telling the story, the same story that you were 5 years ago, then grow up. Which means what? By telling the story of this violation, every time you tell it, we become a victim. How do we feel? I've been hurt. Something outside of me has controlled my life, and this is why I am where I am, and I'm not doing this anymore. So now, what's our impression of ourselves? I'm a victim, which means what? I'm powerless. That sucks, because that's the one thing that helps you determine how you identify with yourself in your mind. Number 2, that's what's stopping you from getting everything you want. How can you be a victim and powerless in certain conditions and get everything that you desire? And what's that answer? You're not. Hang on. Let me get this. So once again, 2 questions. What did I learn? What am I going to do? Okay, what's the third thing? The third thing is, how do you speak to others? So how do you actually speak to others? You know, the person that can't hear you, do you criticize them? When you see somebody, see, here's the problem with criticism. People express what they feel. So when your internal language sucks, you're telling the same story. Do you feel good about yourself? No. So what do? You find fault in other people. Why? Because fault is what you're experiencing, and that's the problem with self-improvement. Man, when you're on that self-improvement thing, I'm learning this and I have knowledge and I see this person isn't doing this. So what's it do? It sets you up for judgment. Why? Because you're judging yourself. Why? Because I'm not good enough. That's why I have to study self-improvement as opposed to being self-aware. Now, am I going to do dumbass things? Heck yeah, I'm human. I can be a smart guy doing dumbass things. Have I done dumbass things in my life? Countless. I'm sure there's a finite number, although it can feel like it's not. However, what did I learn? What am I going to do? And now I get past it, right? So here's the thing. When you criticize, whatever you give, you experience. That's why giving and receiving are simultaneous. So when I criticize others, what am I doing? I'm actually criticizing myself. Why? Because I experience criticism. The brain doesn't know what's in you and what's outside of you. So when you talk about something else, what are you feeling? You're feeling criticism. So you're wiring your brain for pain. Why don't I just punch myself in the face? So if someone said, hey, I think you should punch yourself in the face, what would you do? Why would I do that? Yet the bottom line is, the physical pain of me punching myself in my face would be easier than the emotional pain of wiring criticism, judgment, and blame in myself. So if it's totally dumb to punch myself in the face, then if you're really self-aware, you realize everybody's on their own journey at their certain level of consciousness. And I can respect their journey just like I can respect mine. So what's that mean? What did I learn? What am I going to do? What did I learn? It doesn't feel good to criticize others. What am I going to do? I'm not going to do that. Even if it comes in my mind, I'm not going to verbalize it because I'm going to correct myself before I even do that. So guess what? Here's 2 things. How many? 1, 2. 2 things that you can do, because now we're going to put this into action, to change your internal language. This is so easy. Change your internal language, change your story, change how you talk to others. Are you ready? Are you guys anxious for this? I know you are. This was a university study of people that were diagnosed clinically depressed and on antidepressants. They had to do 2 things 20 minutes a day. 1, put a big smile on your face. Brush your teeth, put a big smile on your face. Why? Because when you smile, it releases serotonin. What's that? That's your happy neurotransmitter. That makes people that are depressed, they have low serotonin, or they're focused on something that's depressing, right? They're focused on their pain. Guess what? Serotonin comes from your gut. You know, it's made, the precursors are made in your gut. So gut health can determine brain health. So maybe you need to take a poop a little more often, take some colon cleansers, and eat a little better. So that way our gut can produce serotonin. But in the meantime, put a big smile on your face. That's number 1. 2, look up. So they had people clinically depressed do 2 things. Smile and look up for 20 minutes a day. Smiling changes brain chemistry. Looking up takes you out of this depressed posture. So when you look up, I can breathe. Man, I feel good about myself. This posture is self-confidence. So you change your physiology with 2 things, smiling and looking up 20 minutes a day. Hey, that's about as fast of a fix as you can get. So what could be a more permanent fix? Hey, you guys know I just wrote a book, You Are More Powerful Than You Think. Go to the website, You Are More Powerful, because it introduces a 6-step system, HEALED, which means you can learn how to honor God within yourself. You can learn to exercise love with yourself out in the world. You can learn to get past your past, so your internal language, your story, and how you talk to others changes. In the meantime, you're smiling and looking up. You can help discover your soul purpose. You can live a life that will still have painful moments, but how to look at them from a higher consciousness and how to live a life that's fulfilling. 2 things, man. Smile, look up, get that book, become aware. 3 things. Become aware. Internal language, what story you're telling, how you look at, how you talk about and to others. And then let's change the consciousness of ourselves, so in every relationship we can influence the consciousness of others. How's that? All right, you guys. Love you. See you next week. YourMorePowerful.com.